What's going on, guys? I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. For those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Ty, and today in this video, we're going to be talking about summer 2024 movies, and I'm going to be ranking them in this tier list by excitement. Now listen, don't get me wrong, I know that it's already halfway through May, and technically, the summer movie season has started because it's usually May to August, some might even say September, but you know, this is kind of just the hand that I've been dealt because I've been a bit busy. But regardless, we're going to dive into things right here. Just any movies that are coming out from right now until the end of August. So I'm not going to be including September movies because in my opinion, August is the end of summer. So taking a look at our tier list here, we've got 23 films and we've got 4 pretty self-explanatory tiers. Can't wait, and I'm not just using that phrase lightly. I mean, these are movies that I literally cannot wait for. I am through the roof excited, speaking of being excited, interested, you know, there's something intriguing about the film, or I don't care. Like, honestly, I just couldn't care less about the movie. Let's just get right into this. Make sure to let me know down in the comments below what movies you guys are excited about, what you're not excited about, whatever. If you guys like this video, please consider dropping a like, and also if you want to subscribe and stick around for more movie-related content, I am your guy. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, guys. I'm crawling there, and I am dying to hit 1,000 subs. It would mean so much to me. Now, if I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys, I feel like this is a weaker summer for films, especially compared to last year, but I think that's just because Barbenheimer was just such a monumental event for filmmaking, whether you loved or hated both the movies. You can't, you know, deny the fact that it was amazing for Hollywood as a whole and for film fans. So, yeah, I don't know. This summer is a little bit weaker just overall, but regardless, there's still going to be some hitters in here, some, you know, maybe sleeper picks that I'm going to get into in a second, but let's just dive right into this list. First movie up, we've got Alien Romulus. Now, I'm just going to start by saying this. For those of you that don't know, because I feel like I don't really talk about this that much, I'm really not a horror guy. I love movies. I will watch all movies, but horror is never my first selection. I honestly don't even really go to see any of the new horror films. And like, I hate to say this, and if you're a horror fan, you know, I respect you. I love all movies. Like I said, I appreciate them. I just think most horror movies end up being bad. Like, I'm just going to be honest with you. However, Alien Romulus, not even joking when I say this, I think I can't wait for this movie. I'm just going to be real. I am through the roof excited for this film. They're taking things back, basically, to like a more grounded approach, you know, a more condensed, smaller atmosphere. It's going to be using practical stuff. The director is talented. Fede Alvarez, right, is his name? I just can't wait for this movie. I'm going to be honest with you. And again, I'm not a horror fan, but more like science fiction type of films that are scary. That's what I love. And this movie, man, I can't wait for this. Also, I'm going to be ranking within tiers, so if a movie's like ahead of another movie in a tier, I'm more excited for that movie within the same tier. You guys understand what I'm saying. Getting into the next movie here, we've got Bad Boys Ride or Die. Now listen, this is a franchise where I haven't seen any of the films, like the first 3 at least, but I saw the trailer in the theaters like multiple times for this film, and I feel like it kind of has some like sauce to it and like some flair, and it seems pretty funny. Will Smith, you know, I feel like his career has been a little bit rocky the past few years, ever since he actually turned into Rocky and decided to hit somebody. So this is a movie that I'm going to be honest, I'm actually kind of interested in. Initially, when it was like announced and when the first trailer dropped, I don't even think I watched it. I would probably have put it like in the I don't care tier. However, now that I've actually been forced to see it, because I had to sit in the theater and watch it multiple times, like I said, I'm actually pretty interested in this movie. I think it can end up being like a decent, fun movie. Speaking of movies that I did not care about when I heard about them, the Borderlands movie. I didn't think anything of this movie. I never played the games like growing up or whatever, but this cast is pretty stacked, and I feel like it was going for more like this corny tone, if I'm just going to be real, and people were saying it was like copying Guardians of the Galaxy, which I get, but after, again, being forced to watch the trailer in theaters, I actually am kind of interested in this movie. I have a bit of investment in it. If I'm just going to be real, I think I'm a little bit more excited for this movie than Bad Boys, because this one, again, has like that Guardians of the Galaxy dynamic. Guardians of the Galaxy is like my favorite groups in the MCU, and I like that type of humor, especially how they have like, you know, Kate Blanchett in here, Jack Black, and Ariana Greenblatt, plus Kevin Hart, who's like fine, I guess, but yeah, it's going to be going right here. Next up is going to be Cuckoo. Listen, this, am I saying that right? Cuckoo? Yeah, no, just Cuckoo, I guess. Cuckoo with Hunter Schafer at the helm. Again, this is a very strong summer for horror because I feel like these movies are actually unique. Their concepts and their just foundations are very interesting. This is a movie that I'm actually excited about. Like, I can't believe that I actually have a horror movie up here and can't wait, and one and excited. The trailer for this movie, again, one that I wasn't really interested in, but I saw it in the theaters a couple times, and I'm very intrigued because it looks terrifying. The premise it's one of these things where I feel like it's been kept relatively under wraps, which I like. I don't want to see the whole movie in the trailer, but it's scary enough. And that bike chase scene, oh my god, I'm home alone right now while I'm recording this, and I'm just thinking about it, and I'm like checking over my, camera here, like, oh, I hope that no one's here to kill me, because it's giving me like the creeps, if I'm gonna be real with you. Next up's Deadpool Wolverine. This is the one diamond in the rough of this summer. I legitimately think about this movie multiple times a day. I watch videos on it, theories. I like to make my own videos on it if you've, checked my channel. I could not be more excited for this film. It's the only MCU movie of the year. And it's not just the only MCU movie of the year. It's probably, hopefully, going to be a banger. I mean, this is like a No Way Home type of film, too, where we don't really know what to expect. The trailers have showed us just enough to tease us without giving us too much, revealing anything. I am just through the roof excited. I just rewatched the first Deadpool the other day too, and honestly I almost wish I didn't, because it's almost getting me too excited. Like, I'm counting down the days at this point, and I don't want to rush my summer. So yeah, July 26th is like marked on my calendar. Hopefully I can see it, the Thursday before July 25th. I am thrilled. I can't be more excited. This is my most anticipated movie of the year, just to be clear. This movie, I can't wait for it. Literally, I cannot wait by definition for this movie. Despicable Me 4. Okay, this is gonna sound kind of funny, okay, but I'm actually kind of interested in this movie. Initially, again, I couldn't care less about this movie, but I feel like I'm understanding why theaters play trailers before movies now, because people aren't gonna go out of their way, like, on the internet to watch trailers. So if you force them to, maybe they'll be interested in a movie and then they'll actually go to see it. And that's kind of an example of this, because, I saw the Despicable Me 4 trailer dropped probably a couple months ago. I didn't really go out of my way to watch it. As big of a movie fan as I am, as much as I love to stay out on top of movie news, like every single thing that comes out, just didn't really care about this. But I'm actually kind of interested in this, I'm gonna be real. And maybe my brain's just like fried at this point in time, but there was like a couple jokes in there that almost made me chuckle. I think it's just because the minions are so stupid, and they've just been like memed to oblivion, which I know is kind of a cringe thing to say, but I'm just being real. That it's almost like a parody of itself, and it's almost like ironic. And yeah, I'm kind of excited for this movie. I don't know, they're kind of heartwarming. You got Steve Carell in there as Gru. Fly Me to the Moon with Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum. This is a movie that I could see myself ending up enjoying. However, for right now, I'm going to put it in don't care. I know that it's pretty insane to see these three, like, relatively, what you can almost just say is, like, cheap money grab movies over something like this that actually has some type of, like, artistic merit to it. But at this very moment in time, I don't care about it. That's not saying that I don't think it's going to be a good movie, but I just don't really care too much about it, if I'm going to be real with you. It doesn't seem like my type of movie. I don't even think I really watched, like, the full trailer. I think I watched, like, little pieces of it. Regardless, I'm going to end up seeing it, and I think I could see myself enjoying it, but as of right now, I'm not hyped for it. Furiosa, this is where I'm going to get myself in trouble. I'm interested in this movie, okay? It's going to go at the top of interested. Something about this movie, actually, I already used this word, but it feels a bit cheap to me. And I understand that when this movie comes out next week, people are going to be going crazy because they love the Mad Max movies. I actually haven't seen Mad Max Fury Road. I'm going to watch it before the movie comes out, and that might completely change my perception. I might move this movie all the way up to can't wait. But as of right now, I'm going to put it at the top of interested. The trailers with the CGI, it just looks so off-putting and so rough around the edges that I'm just not fully bought in. And on top of that, not that this is necessarily biased, it's more just an opinion, I'm just not the biggest Anya Taylor-Joy fan. Not that I dislike her by any means. Great actress. I just don't really care about her. There's nothing wrong with that. She's not really an actress that I would run to the theater to go see in a film. Chris Hemsworth, however, I really do enjoy. So I'm excited to see him as, I forgot what his name is. It's like Demetrius or Dementis. Oh, Dementis is what it is, I think. As the villain in this movie. Pretty cool. Next up is going to be the Garfield movie. Couldn't care less about this movie. I didn't really grow up like watching Garfield necessarily, so it's gonna go right here and I don't care. I actually really like Chris Pratt, unlike Anya Taylor-Joy, and again, it's not a diss to her or a slight to her. I actually really do enjoy Chris Pratt, contrary to popular belief. Not like that everyone knows my opinion, but I'm just saying I feel like everyone just hates him for no reason. Very funny, charming guy, and that's gonna go here. We are on a pretty cold streak because Harold and the Purple Crayon is also going to be going, and I don't care, even lower than the Garfield movie. I mean, I literally could not physically care less about this movie. It looks like a $4 budget film with Zachary Levi in it. I don't know where his career is going. I feel like Shazam was like his peak, and now it's just downhill from here. I mean, he was in Tangled also, but literally, and for some reason I actually watched this trailer, but I like didn't watch some of these trailers. I don't really know why, but just kind of you know, how things ended up going. Next up is going to be Hitman. Man, I'm excited for this movie. I'm going to put it right here behind Cuckoo because, why do I keep saying that weird? Is it Cuckoo? Cuckoo? I don't know. I think my brain's playing tricks on me because I'm recording this at 1 a.m. Hitman's gonna go right behind Cuckoo, I think. I just watched Anyone But You for the first time the other day, and honestly, it's charming enough. It's a very exciting, you know, chemistry-filled rom-com that I was really digging, and like Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell's chemistry was awesome on screen together. And I haven't really been exposed to Glenn Powell. This is gonna sound sacrilegious because I know I have a movie-related channel. I actually haven't seen Top Gun Maverick, but this was like my first exposure to Glenn Powell. You know, you've been seeing him everywhere. He's going to be in a movie that's also in summer 2024, which we're going to get to in a second. But this was my first exposure to him, and I like fell in love with him. Pause. Like, I think that he's a really great actor, and I like his mannerisms. He's funny, good looking guy. Can't go wrong there, right? He's almost like a low budget Ryan Gosling, and that's no slight to him because he's definitely on the rise. Ryan Gosling's just already like an A lister, so you know he's up there. Hitman looks pretty cool. I'm very excited for it. I feel like I talked more about Anyone But You instead of this movie, but yeah, it's gonna go here. I don't really love the concept, but I think it could definitely win me over. It's going in excited. I mean, I'm putting it pretty high. Next up is going to be Horizons, which is like the Kevin Costner part 1, part 2 thing, which I'm kind of digging. I'm going to be honest. Like, shout out to him for just taking a risk and trying to do something creatively different than all the other things that we see. I mean, for those of you that don't know, this is like a Western saga. The first part is coming out, I'm making these numbers up, but like in June or these dates up. And then the second part is going to be coming out in August. So it's like you're getting 2 movies back to back, like a sequel instantly. This movie, I think, has like a 3-hour runtime. I'm not the biggest Western person just because I haven't necessarily been exposed to too many. But this movie I'm honestly interested in. I'm putting it right here. And again, this isn't me saying that Furiosa isn't going to be as good as Horizon. I'm just saying my personal excitement for this film is a little bit higher than this. I enjoyed the trailer. I was a big fan of Killers of the Flower Moon last year. It's giving me that same vibe. It's going to go towards the top of interested. And next up is going to be If. This is kind of killing me. I think that If is going to go like right at the bottom of interested. I know this is a little bit slanted, but you know, we're getting to some bangers here in a minute. This movie seems charming enough. You know what? I'm going to put it above Despicable Me 4. Seems charming enough. It comes out literally like tomorrow or the day of I'm dropping this video, of when I'm dropping this video. I love Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool and Wolverine. I love John Krasinski, Steve Carell. But I'm just not fully sold on the premise, and it just looks a bit, you know, uninteresting to me personally. However, I appreciate, you know, a new IP, a new idea out there. It's not just, you know, another sequel. If is going to go right here. Seems perfectly fine. I'm not really the target audience, you know, so it's going to be going right there. Next up is going to be Inside Out 2. Inside Out, for some reason, didn't really click with me when I watched it at first, and I'm a big Pixar guy, don't get me wrong. Believe it or not, I've only seen Inside Out 1 time. I know that sounds kind of crazy. Inside Out 2, I'm definitely going to be rewatch Inside Out. I'm actually doing a Pixar rewatch right now up until Inside Out 2 so that I could rank all the movies again. But Inside Out 2 is going to go right here towards the back of Excited. I'm going to put it right in front of Hitman. I'm excited enough for this movie, right? We've got Maya Hawke coming in here. We're moving on from Riley as a kid to like a teen. That's an interesting concept, especially as someone that pretty much just like left their teenage years like, you know, 2-3 years ago. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool to see her in a different stage of life. It makes sense. That's the natural trajectory this sequel would go. So I do like the direction. They released the first 35 minutes of this at CinemaCon, and like a bunch of people saw it and said it was great. So that makes me a little bit more excited. But of course, they didn't get to see the full movie, so hopefully, you know, it sticks the landing. Next up, Kinds of Kindness. This is a Yorgos Lanthimos movie. I'm pretty excited for this movie. I am pretty excited. The trailer sold me, and the reason the trailer sold me is because I have no idea what it's about, and I'm excited. This movie is almost 3 hours long, but it has like his usual heavy hitters in here. Emma Stone, Willem Dafoe, what's his face, Jesse Plemons from, you know, Breaking Bad, of course, and other things, among other things. And yeah, I'm very excited for this movie. And I'm gonna be real though, and again, I feel like I'm exposing myself throughout this whole movie. I have never seen a Yorgos Lanthimos film in my life. I didn't see Poor Things last year, never seen The Lobster, The Favorite, haven't seen Killing of a Sacred Deer. However, hopefully I'll watch those at some point. I'm excited for this movie. It seems cool. I like wackier, crazier movies, and I'm intrigued because, again, it looked cool, but I didn't know what it was about. And again, that makes me interested. That makes me excited to go see a movie. And I love Emma Stone and Willem Dafoe and Jesse Plemons. Forgot to mention that. Next up's going to be Longlegs. Guys, I don't know if I'm like hitting the crack pipe right now. This is going in can't wait. I have never watched a horror trailer in my life and been more intrigued about the premise of the film. This trailer terrified me. Literally, it is unbelievably scary. I think Nick Cage is going to be in here, and again, it didn't show too much, but it just reeled me in enough to where I was literally watching this trailer, like looking over my shoulder, like what's going on here? It looks creatively rich and spectacular. If you guys, like, if I could recommend a movie to go see this summer, obviously without seeing it, I'm just saying, I'd say go check out this one if you're going to see something different, because it looks incredible. Or at least just, if I had to recommend a trailer to someone to watch this trailer. It looks sick and twisted, and I'm so hyped. It gives me, like, Prisoner vibes, while also being, like, you know, more like on the paranormal side of things. I don't know what it's about, though, again, and it looks scary. This is going to sit with me for days. Next up's going to be MaXXXine. I am very excited for this movie. This movie is going to be going in excited right here. Big win for the horror genre this year. I can't believe how many horror, even looking at the rest of this list, we have a lot of horror movies to go, which is pretty weird, honestly. But, yeah, taking a look at MaXXXine, I really enjoyed the trailer, and, guys, this is really killing me here, because, again, I'm going to sound like a fake film fan. I've never seen X, and I've never seen Pearl. I'm sorry. Don't kill me there. I'm just being honest with you. Mia Goth apparently, like, kicked someone on set during this movie. I don't know if there's any, like, legal charges against her for that, but, like, apparently that was a thing that happened. But I'm still intrigued by this movie. I could, like, see kind of the progression, because I, like, understand the general concept of what happens in those first two movies, so I kind of understand where this movie's going in the direction, and I do like it. It seems pretty cool. Kevin Bacon is in here. I believe Giancarlo Esposito as well, and I'm excited for this movie. I'm going to watch X and Pearl beforehand, and, yeah, again, though, keep in mind, I'm not really a horror person, so don't blame me for not seeing X and Pearl. Just don't really go out of my way to watch horror films. A Quiet Place Day 1, I have not seen the first two movies. And again, please, for the love of God, don't kill me. They're more, you know, horror-oriented, and I just don't naturally, you know, I'm not naturally attracted to those films. But I do like horror movies that are more on the sci-fi side, and A Quiet Place, I bet when I watch the first two, I'm gonna really like them. This movie is going in can't wait. I watched the trailer again in the theaters, and every single time I watch it, I get more and more excited. The newest trailer that they just released, I think it's the final trailer, I'm not sure, was definitely the best one in my opinion. Just want to mention this, by the way, the poster for this movie is pretty horrible, but regardless, thrilled for this. We've got Lupita Nyong'o, oh god, I might get killed, I don't know how to say her name, and Joseph Quinn in here. I'm excited to see their dynamic on screen. Joseph Quinn is really blowing up after Stranger Things. Going to be in Fantastic Four next year. This looks scary enough. Also, it has the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, I forgot his name. It's like DJ something. Regardless, I'm thrilled for this movie. I can't wait for it. Even my dad, I actually went to go see Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes the other day. My dad, whenever he sees movie trailers nowadays, I feel like he's like, oh, this is stupid or whatever. But I brought him along for the ride. And this was the one trailer where in the theater, he leaned over to me and said, hey, that looks pretty good. We should go see that, which is rare for him. So that's how I knew this movie's probably going to end up being pretty good. Shout out to him. Next up's going to be The Crow. I don't care. I haven't seen the original Crow. I'm going to put this, like, above all these, honestly, because I'm interested to see how bad this could potentially be. See, I haven't seen the original Crow, but out of respect for the actor that obviously passed away, I believe his name is Brandon Lee. Am I just making that up? Okay, no, I'm not. So going on from there, I just don't like the look of Bill Skarsgård. He reminds me of like the Joker from Suicide Squad, the bad one, Jared Leto, who, like, in my opinion, is one of the worst looking characters ever. I don't care about this movie. For some reason, they put FKA Twigs in here also, which, like, is just an interesting choice. I don't really know what they're doing with this. It's might be okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is going to be a bad movie because I haven't seen it yet. I have to give my own opinion and actually watch it. But at this very point in time, I don't care about this movie. And it also got moved from like June to August, which is pretty weird. I think it doesn't want to compete at the box office with like Inside Out and stuff because August is a little bit more of a dead month, so that's understandable. The Watchers I'm definitely excited for. And again, now that I'm looking at this list, because I didn't really like take a look at these movies, I can't believe how many good horror movies are going to be coming out this year. The Watchers I'm going to put right here, and I'm not an M. Night Shyamalan guy, but this movie actually looks pretty interesting. His daughter's directing this one, and then he has another movie, which is, on this list we'll get to in a second, Trap. And this movie looks very interesting. Like I said, the trailer doesn't give away too much. Again, it's one of these things where maybe there's going to be a twist or an interesting thing happening towards the end, whatever. Regardless, I'm not the biggest M. Night Shyamalan guy. I'm going to be honest with you. Most of the movies I've seen from him, I didn't end up enjoying. Knock at the Cabin from last year, I thought was one of the worst movies of the year. But it's going to go right here. I think that it seems pretty cool. This seems pretty much like up my alley because, again, seems a little bit more like sci-fi dystopia, like something weird's going on in the woods, which is very creepy. I'm a big, like, Blair Witch Project fan, even though I know some people don't like that. It's going to go right there. The Bikeriders. This movie has Winona Ryder, Austin Butler, Tom Hardy, and I don't care about it. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't really care about it. It seems like a very generic, like, bike rider movie. Like, I know that this movie's called The Bikeriders, but a, biker gang film. It's just like a bottom of the barrel, generic biker gang movie. That's what this seems like to me. I'm not a huge Austin Butler guy. I really like him. I'm just not, he's not like one of my favorites. Winona Ryder, I love her from Stranger Things and, other things, of course. Tom Hardy, I'm not the biggest fan of. And I don't really have much to say about this movie. I'm just going to be real with you. The release date's been moving around a bunch. Not like dying to see this movie. I'm putting it at the top, I don't care. M. Night Shyamalan. We have a rocky relationship, me and him, even though he doesn't know I exist. I'm pretty interested in this movie. I don't think the premise is like so godly and unbelievable that, I'm like thrilled about it. But Josh Hartnett's in here. I like that he's kind of getting to lead a film. I'm going to put Trap definitely like here. I think that's a pretty good place. Relatively interested in this movie. I think it's cool that there's like a killer at this concert and it's like meant to trap him there. Hopefully there's like a really good, twist in here at the end. I heard that this movie is actually pretty long, like 2.5 hours, which in a way turns me on to it a little bit more because I feel like it's going to be a slow burn. We're going to take our time to set things up. We're going to have this movie, just different things laid out, especially since it's a trap. A concert naturally is a long event. So for this to be a longer movie, I think makes sense. It's like we're going to be seeing all the little antics going on, all the things to try to lure out the killer, if he's even the killer. We don't know what's going on here. But regardless, Trap's going to go right here. And in last place is going to be Twisters, last but not least. I'm interested in this movie. I would say that Twisters is going to go right above Borderlands, right here. This movie, again, has my newfound boyfriend, Glenn Powell. Love the guy. But, no, yeah, I'm starting to become a Glenn Powell fan. I almost said Gwen Powell. Oh, my God. Can you believe this? Glenn, oh, my God. Glenn Powell. I'm not even going to cut this out of the video. Glenn Powell is going to be in this movie. Also, another reason I'm interested in this movie, David Cornsweet's going to be in here, our new Superman, another movie that I'm, head over heels about. I'm so excited. It looks pretty cool, honestly. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's gonna be a banger, but this is like the type of movie that just screams summer to me. And I like that. I like that like old school summer movie season vibe. That's what this reminds me of. A good southern film. Seems pretty cool. At least I think it takes place in the South. I feel like that's where all the twisters happen, like Kansas or whatever. Haven't seen the original. Regardless, though, I'm interested in it. I'm a pretty, big fan of destruction disaster movies. That's like what you could say is like a guilty pleasure of mine. Just to like throw on the TV or whatever. I used to watch them a lot as a kid as well, and yeah, I think this is pretty much my finalized list. And yeah, like I said, I feel like this summer movie season is a little bit weaker than other years, but now that I've done this list, like over the course of even just recording this video, I feel like I've gotten myself a little bit more excited. So maybe don't listen to me from the beginning of this video. This is going to be a pretty solid summer at the end of the day, Not every single year could be a 10 out of 10 summer. Next year is going to look like it's going to be a banger. And even some movies, not trying to jump too ahead, in 2026 summer that are coming out, or like mind-blowing lineup. Like this lineup's gonna be sick. But regardless, we gotta take what we have right now, right? We don't want to rush our lives. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.